here in Vienna today. You've been talking with the Austrian Chancellor. How is what you're doing here going to help stop the boats? Because it's not going terribly well at the moment, is it?
Well, it's been good to be here in Austria talking with Chancellor Nehammer about tackling illegal migration. And the Austrians share our view that tackling illegal migration is one of the great issues of our time. It requires urgent attention, and the only way to fully solve this problem is to embrace new, bold, novel solutions, like the use of safe third countries for removals. That's something that the Austrians believe. And indeed, what we've just seen in the last few weeks is 15 EU countries actually all making the same point, that that's what this requires. That's why our Rwanda scheme is so important. We are pioneering something new. I said when I first got this job that where Britain leads, others would follow when it comes to tackling illegal migration, and you can see that that is now clearly the case. And I've had very constructive dialogue today with the Chancellor here in Austria about what more we can do to work together, and again to lead this conversation in Europe, as we are seeing others are seeing what we have seen, that the only way to fully solve this problem is to have a deterrent, make sure that you can remove people to a safe third country. That's how you break this criminal gangs. It should be us that decide who come to our country and not them.
But Prime Minister, you've pledged to stop the boats very explicitly. So far this year, the numbers are up 35% on where we were last year. Nearly 10,000 people have made that crossing this year. Do you regret making that pledge so firm, stop the boats? Because it's impossible, isn't it? Certainly before the next election.
No, it's very important to me that we do stop the boats, because it's a basic matter of fairness. It's simply wrong that people are jumping the queue, coming to our country illegally, putting pressure on public services, undermining that sense of fairness that's so central to our national character, and perilously risking their lives in the process. And as we've seen, tragically, children have lost their lives being exploited by these criminal gangs. So I am absolutely convicted in my belief that the right thing to do is everything in our power to stop the boats. That's why we're pioneering the Rwanda scheme. And actually, over the past 12 months, if you look at the last 12 months, the numbers are down by around a third. They were down by around a third last calendar year as well. So we are making progress. And just this year, in fact, we have returned 10,000 people back to other countries. That's 2,000 people more than we did last year. So that shows the progress we're making. And including within that are 1,700 foreign national offenders. Again, 400 more than last year. So yes, we are making progress. Of course there's more to do. I've been very clear that I won't stop until we have stopped the boats. That's why the Rwanda scheme is so important. And as you can see from my conversations here in Austria and what's coming out of multiple other European countries, everyone else is seeing what we've seen, that you must have somewhere to return people so you can have a proper deterrent, because that's the only way to fully solve this problem. Talking
about Rwanda, the Home Office seems to have lost a load of people that were earmarked for removal. People are going across into Ireland, etc. There's going to be legal challenges. Some of your own ex-ministers think you're never going to get flights off the ground. Are you still saying you're going to get regular flights going through the summer? And if so, how many people do you think you can send before the election?
Well, I do believe that that's what we will do, and I set out very comprehensively all the preparations that we've put in place to make that possible this summer. I'm not going to get into the specific operational detail because we don't want to compromise the integrity of those operations, but we've trained hundreds of caseworkers, secured an airfield, booked planes, have escorts, identified the cohorts. All that work is ongoing so that we can not just get the first flight off in July, but then have a multiple rhythm of flights thereafter so that we can create the deterrent that we know is necessary to solving this problem. And look, lots of people will have their views on this, but I'm not going to apologise for doing something bold, for doing something novel and ambitious, because that is what is required to stop this problem. Anyone who says that you can stop the boats without something like this, without having somewhere to return people to if they come here illegally, is not being straight with the British public. Now, Labour are very clear on this. They believe in giving people who have come here illegally an amnesty to stay. Right? They don't believe in returning people. They don't believe in a deterrent. Well, the rest of Europe is clocking on that you need a deterrent. 15 EU countries just all signed a declaration a week or so ago saying that you need to have returns to safe third countries because that's the only way to stop the incentive for people to come. They recognise that. We've led on that conversation. It's only the Labour Party who seem to think that that's not necessary. They don't care about stopping the boats, whereas I'm determined to do everything I can so that that's what we achieve.
Figures for legal migration are out this Thursday. It was 750,000 last time. Boris Johnson pledged to get it below, 230,000 it was when they won that majority. It's not going to get down to that. It's not really good enough, is it, on legal migration either?
Yeah, the levels of legal migration that I inherited are just simply too high, and that's why I've taken, I think, more significant action than any Prime Minister in recent history to bring the levels down. We've tackled student dependence, people abusing social care visa. We've raised the threshold of salaries that people need to earn before they come here, so they're not undercutting British workers. And we're already starting to see the impact of those changes. In the first 3 months of this year, the visas issued across our main visa categories were down by a quarter. That is a significant drop. It shows that our plan to bring illegal migration down is working. There's more to come because more of our measures are kicking in thereafter, so people can be reassured that we have a plan. That plan is working. We will bring these levels of legal migration down because I believe, like many people, that they are simply too high and unsustainable.
Finally, Prime Minister, big football match at the weekend, Southampton or Leeds. One of them is going to the Premier League. You're a massive supporter of Southampton. Which would you pick if you could choose? Southampton going to the Premier League or you winning the next election?
Well, it was great to be at St Mary's on Friday night with my family. It was a really special moment for the club, for the players, for the manager. In fact, the whole city was celebrating. I've never experienced an atmosphere like that at St Mary's for years. It was really brilliant. I'm really delighted for everyone. Looking forward to Sunday, hoping that Che Adams is fit and we can march back up to the Premier League. Here we come.
Prime Minister, thanks so much for talking to us on GBNews today.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.